Hi there guys, Office Boy Builder here. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. I hope you find this informative and helpful. If you do, please do drop a like, comment and subscribe because it really helps the channel as we're growing. Almost at 10,000 subscribers now, which is really exciting. And we've got a great community of people that comment and post and help each other out. And in the comments below, you'll find some potentially helpful tips or pointers, things that I've missed. Because I'm just a DIYer, I'm not a builder. So, please do follow along. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you how to wire in an extractor fan. Now I have already drilled the hole for this, just here. This is actually in the middle of a bigger bathroom refit that I'm in the middle of doing. I'm most of the way through it, but I do still have some tools around, as you can see. I'm going to be fitting the shower screen for this. If you haven't seen the rest of the install for this, either the tiling or the shower part, or the shower tray, please do jump on the channel. I'll try and post a link for that up here. Have a look at that, and also the decoration of the room as well. We've gone for some quite fun, interesting different bits here within the bathroom. And this is the ensuite for our guest room as well. So if you're new to the channel, if you haven't seen anything else that I've done, feel free to jump into that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to wire in an extractor fan. I've pre-cut the hole for that, and I've actually got the cable here like this. So that is ready to go to be wired in. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that it's isolated, all switched off, everything like that, because that's important. Safety. So that would be on, that is off. I'm going to spin you around. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to wire it in. And yeah, hopefully you find this useful. So stick around. Right, as I said at the very beginning of this, I'm not a builder, I'm not a plumber or an electrician. I am a DIYer who's probably a bit over the top, but I do understand what I'm doing. So I've got an isolator switch here, and this comes off the lighting feed. So this has permanent power coming in. So this is not the best thing for really testing whether something is live or not, but right? So that's showing that it's on, and it's on there. If I switch that off, may still get power at the top, but we don't get any power at the bottom. And likewise, now that it's off, that is not switching on. If I turn it back on, that switches on. So I know that power there is going through, and now it's off. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of testing it is to use a screwdriver like this, where when you connect it with your finger here, when you touch it to the live terminal and you put it on, the light bulb in here will shine up. That's another kind of DIY way to test. Alternatively, you have to use a proper tool that is certified for proving dead. And so that's now isolated. So I can touch this and it won't hurt me, it won't do anything damaging for me. This is a 3-core and earth cable. So it has a live, an earth, a neutral, and an additional cable, which is typically gray, sometimes it's black. And that's effectively the switched live. What that does is that takes permanent power to the vent so that it can run on a timer or a humidistat afterwards. So I will show you the vent that I have got. I've tried lots of different vents in the past. This Vent Axia Silent is absolutely brilliant. They are literally silent, to the point where the last time I wired one of these, I had to take the cover off while it was running to check that it was running because I couldn't hear it. It genuinely is amazing. So I'll show you how to wire that in. That's nice and easy. This is a side extension that I have built, and I've built all of this out here. So again, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to catch up. I have left this goes up into the loft. So this ceiling is full of insulation, and I don't want to remove it. If I remove it, then there is the possibility that warm, moist air will condense on a cold surface in the pipe as it's traveling along, and I don't want that because it will collect, it will pull, it will drip. It's just not ideal. So I want to actually make an incision in the insulation this way, separate it, and then push the tube up through. And there's a ceiling above as well. So what I'll do is I'll open this up now so you can see what I'm talking about, and I'll try and get you in a little bit closer as well. So what I've done is with a Stanley knife, I've cut this, and I've literally just split it, separated it either side. All I really need is a dot right in the middle there. And the way that I'm going to achieve that is by using well, I'll show you actually. Move this out of the way. I'm going to use one of these. This is a laser level. Now this particular model of Bosch laser level shoots a dot perfectly up and also down on the ground as well. So you can see that there. What I need to do is move this dot so it's perfectly in the middle of that hole. And at the point that it's in the middle, I can mark it with a pen, I can drill up, and then I can actually drill down from above with my hole saw. And then I know that the holes will be perfectly level above and below each other. Okay, there's the laser level, and I've drawn a dot with the Sharpie. The reason this is so important is because I have a joist right here, and the last thing I want to do is drill into it or notch it or anything like that. And also, I don't want the vent pipe at too much of an angle. I want it straight up, vertical. So I'll pilot this, and then I'll jump up into the loft and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So this is the loft conversion that I built. This was in fact, this is the first project I did. It still isn't finished because it doesn't need to be. We don't need the space up here. We actually only did this for planning. So I've got most of the way there. Bit more overboarding of insulation to do, and then plasterboard and skim and a bathroom and whatever else. This is secondary, and it's probably another £10,000 worth of work that I don't have the money or the time for now. I also built this loft area in here and fully insulated it, and I've put a roof light in. So this is where we're storing pretty much all the junk that we have and just general stuff. Let me just turn on my flash. Right, so over here, you will see is the hole that I drilled, the pilot from the bathroom, and I can see where my joist is here that I nailed to. So what I can do is, using a decent hole saw here, I know I can drill this out, and then I can run my extractor vent down here and over to this here. I had to guess where this was going to be when I built the thing, because I wanted, while I had the scaffolding up outside and we were doing the rendering, I wanted to get a hole cut and all the rest of it. Ideally, this would have been there, but I didn't know where it was. I had to work, work blind. So this will run at a slight angle over here, but it's not really an issue. So what I'll do is I'll drill this out. I'll use this hole saw and my drill, and then I can push this down from above and push some excess, and then I can run the rest of it out there. Right, that's cut. Not ideal, actually. I'm going to mark this. I've used this for plasterboard, this hole saw, and now it's completely blunt. Cuts plasterboard nicely, but nothing else. So it's actually overheated the drill quite a bit. Thankfully, it hasn't damaged it. This light goes red on this Bosch if there's any damage to the battery or the tools. So thankfully, that's okay. But you can see from this that it's just burnt as much as it's cut. Either way, we are through. You can see down into the bathroom there with the stool, and that is the extractor fan there. So I'm going to hop back down once I have pushed some of this through. I need to do the wiring as well. So yeah, we'll sort that now. Right, I have removed the face covering, this bit here, and also just that top plate, so you can see the internals. They have, just going to move this over here. So there's a rubberized gasket here that allows you that you can take off, that you can, it's almost like a grommet. Actually, you cut a little slit in this and you can run the cable through and you can put this back in, and that helps with the IP rating a little bit. So what I will do is I'll loosen these 2 screws at the front, pop this off, and that will effectively take this housing off the back. Most fans, I think if not all fans, come with one of these plastic things. Do not remove that. That is there as a backdraft stop, which will stop cold air from the outside of the building coming in and blowing in this way. So the air will only come up and out this way. So this will blow and allow the air out, but it won't allow air back in. So don't take that off. Pop the cover off the front, and this is the electrical gubbins inside. You can see here that is the humidistat. Over here is the timer. So this one has both. And then this is where you wire it in. So far left is the kind of brown one, that's your live. The blue in the middle is neutral, and then LS is your live switch. Sometimes it's SL for switched live. The other thing that I really like about these Ventaxi ones is on this far left hand side you see that little spirit level. So if you are mounting it and you want to make sure that it's level, you've got a nice little idea of what true level is, which is really nice. Very, very small, just a little touch. That actually makes a big difference. So I like that. In my case, it's not any benefit to me because it's going vertical, but if I was doing it on the wall, that would actually be really helpful. Now, for me, what I'm going to do, where I've got this, I'm going to place mine up this way, and I'm going to drill a new hole around here, which will accept the cable to come in effectively like that. But I don't want it pinching on the hole here, and I don't want to expand this. So I'll drill a new hole. I'll move the cable out of the way, slide this up, mark on the ceiling, drill a hole, and pull the cable through that. Right, what I am doing is making sure that this lines up nice and evenly with the wall there, all the way along, just visually so that it looks nicer. So I've used the spirit level to do that. I've marked my hole. I'll drill and pull the cable through and wire it in, and then I can secure this in place. But to be honest, this is really, really tight on the hole. So that's very helpful actually to hold in place. That's marked up there. I've marked up my spots for my fixings, which I probably won't use, but it allows me to know where to put it in to get it straight again. And now I can just make off these ends. The grey here is the switch live, earth, neutral, and live. These have now been made off. I need to just tidy it all up, but you can see this is running, and it's running very, very quietly. If there's any humming that you can hear, it's more likely to be my battery charger than it is this fan. They are really very quiet. Right, I'm going to tidy this up, and then I'm going to run the actual vent ducting out of the ceiling. I have run the hose up in here. I'll go above and I'll show you because it's up there and it is connected at this point here as well. The hose is on there, and yeah, this is all in. It's all working nicely, so that's fine. So I'm going to go and connect up the hose at the other end. One point that I will make, I have left a lot of slack on the cable and on the hose so that I can pull them all out and pull them all down and access anything that I want and need to. If you make off your cables and you do them really short and really tight, you're just on a hiding to nothing. It becomes really very difficult to service things, to replace things, whatever else. So always leave a nice healthy amount of length on the cable and on the hose, and yeah, it'll make your life a lot easier. So this is it from above. It's quite a tight hole, but what I did effectively was just shove a whole load of excess down there like this, just so that I know I've got capacity. Now what I can do is I can pull it along and work out roughly where I'm going to cut it off. Again, I don't want this like a coiled spring. I want it to be you know, not too tight, not too loose. So I'll probably cut it around here. That'll give me plenty to go over to there. I'll cut this, snip the wire using those yellow cutters, side cutters, and then I can effectively shove it out that way and make sure it gets all the way out to this point here. And that is a wrap on the job. Good bit of kind of flexibility on this. You know, I could even put a cable tie here, and so that's pretty much it on this. It's all wired in. Now, the great thing about these is you can leave it plugged in and pop off little caps here. So if you pop this off, you can get to the wiring. If you pop this off, you can get to the different resistors, and you can actually tune in what this is. This little dial here spins around for sensitivity. So in the instruction book, you can see the wiring diagram. This is what I did. It comes off the light, isolator switch, and then switch live, neutral, and live. And then here, you can see this is the humidity adjustment. JP1 and 2, basically to do with the timer and the speed selection. And then there is the humidistat adjustment as well. So I'm going to get mine dialed in now for what I want. It's highly customizable without having to take everything off, all of the gubbins. I did that just to make it easier for me to wire in, but with that little plastic cap over it, I've still got access to all of the wiring parts. I just don't need to have them all fully exposed, and I can dial it all in with this. So I hope you found that useful, hope you found that enjoyable. As I said, if it's your first time here on the channel, thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, hopefully you found this tutorial relatively useful. Please do like, comment, subscribe. If you found it really useful, feel free to jump on the super thanks and you'll get a mention. Yeah, I'll see you on the next video.